ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Today's show we will be reviewing the Netflix series The Devil in Ohio, Season 1. Oh goody, this episode is going to be a lot of fun. The Devil in Ohio, put out by Netflix, features a young teenage girl, May, who has run away from a satanic cult. May is played by Madeline Arthur, and I think she is, was one of the bright spots of this rather dull cast that I'm not even that interested in going through, to be honest. I'm a vampire, I do what I want, thank you very much. Madeline Arthur could have a future as a scream queen, in my opinion. Anyway, this May girl is taken in as a foster child by Suzanne Mathis, and that's when the story really begins. I actually kind of like this series, though. It did feature some teeny bopper, lovey-dovey stuff that I didn't really care for. But, and I don't want to give too much away for you guys, because I do always want you to watch, /read, /play all these films, shows, games, and novels yourself, and develop your own opinions. But the whole deal for me during this series was trying to figure out if this May girl was truly evil or was simply the victim of a brainwashed cult. I think that was the whole mystery for everybody who watched The Devil in Ohio. And it was a little cleared up for me in the last episode of the show, but again, I will not spoil it for you. Let's use this series as a stepping stone to talk about cults and how there are lots of opportunities to use them in both new and old horror franchises. I think cults can most certainly be scary, and we've seen them featured to varying degrees in loads of horror media out there. End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger rings a bell for me, and most certainly Rosemary's Baby with all those creepy folk. I think even Children of the Corn. The kids are somewhat cultish. I mean, the list could go on and on. I love The Children of the Corn. That is one of my favorite scary movies of all time, by the way. Speaking of corn, kind of a random thought here, but how scary are cornfields? I mean, there are lots of movies with scary cornfields, and The Devil in Ohio is no exception. I don't know how many of you have actually been to the state of Ohio, but there's definitely lots and lots of cornfields. The thing that really brings out the fear factor with cornfields, and many of you watching this right now might not have a lot of experience with them depending on where you live, but if the corn is high and dense enough, and if the cornfield is large enough, it could be very easy to lose one's bearings. Definitely hard to see someone sneaking up on you, especially in the dead of night. So it's perfect for a horror setting, that's for sure. What else resides in in cornfields that is pretty scary, I'll ask of you? Well, first off, you have crows, and crows are a big part of The Devil in Ohio. Their cult thing they have going on with the crows. Where you have crows, you most certainly have scarecrows. Now, there aren't any scarecrows in Devil in Ohio, but there are lots of them in horror media. For example, Jeepers Creepers. The creeper kind of dresses like a scarecrow, doesn't he? And hangs out on the wooden stick like a scarecrow. What a creep that creeper is, huh? Lots of other scarecrows in horror. There is one in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And in the film, he looks pretty darn freaky, if I do say so myself. And also in the book, in the illustration, he looks pretty scary, but especially in the film. Even R.L. Stine has a novel, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I love me some R.L. Stine. He's written some adult horror as well as the Goosebumps series that I love. Please comment down below, speaking of R.L. Stine, please comment down below on your favorite Goosebumps novel. Me personally, I'm a Night of the Living Dummy guy. My boy Slappy, all up in here. I said all of that to say that The Devil in Ohio definitely nailed the setting, that's for sure. That was definitely a long way of saying it, but whatever, I do what I want. Now time for some negative thoughts, oh boy. I'm really more of a glass of blood is half full guy, but here goes anyway. I don't think that this series is that scary, but it did intrigue me to some degree. They could have added a little more of the supernatural, and I kind of kept waiting for that to happen, but it never really did. So think if they got rid of some of the teeny bopper high school drama stuff, and added a few more supernatural happenings, they just might be on to something. Heck, maybe throw in a possession or a demon in the mix, and then they would really have my attention. Though I wasn't thoroughly in love with this series from a true blue horror perspective, I do think it has lots of potential, and maybe they can figure it out if they do in fact end up with a season 2 of this series. We will just have to wait and see, but I'm on board with watching another season of the series, in fact. In closing here, I would like to thank you again for joining me here on the CD Racoola Show. If you could please wipe the Ohio sweet corn juice off your fingers and hit the like, share, and subscribe button, old CD would be most appreciative. Join me next episode when I review the film The Terrifier. Oh, Artie the Clown is a bad, bad little boy, that's for sure. So till next time, if a crow is perched outside of your window, and he's knocking with his little beak, peck, 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 wanting to come in, and you draw the shade because you think he is more than a little bit creepy, just remember this. He's still sitting outside of your windowsill, waiting ever so patiently for you. That's my impression of a crow, by the way. Okay, see ya, bye-bye.